Wait a second, I seem to have forgotten the intro. There it is. Hi everyone. We just wrapped up AI launch week at Descope and shipped a ton of new capabilities to help AI developers solve authentication and authorization challenges. This video will quickly recap all the new capabilities and show them in action. You can check out in-depth blogs, tutorials, videos, and sample apps on our AI launch week page. You can also experience a number of agentic identity demos for yourself by heading over to descope.ai and exploring any of these use cases. Let's get right into it and start with inbound apps. Inbound apps are an easy and powerful way to make your application agent ready. By turning your app into an OAuth identity provider, you can securely expose your APIs to AI agents, define granular scopes for what the AI agent can access, and give users full visibility and control with consent management flows. I'll now hand it over to Anvi to show how an application protected by inbound apps returns scoped and secure responses when its APIs are called. Over to you, Anvi.
We'll use the 10x CRM Postman collection to make some requests to our application's endpoints. Let's first create a token with full scopes. I'll head to the authorization tab over here. And as you can see, I've chosen authorization code with Pixie. We've set the client ID. The client secret isn't required since we're using Pixie. And we've set the scopes to be deals read and contacts read, which are both of the scopes defined in our inbound app. I'll click Get New Access Token, and it'll take me to my consent flow. I'll hit Sign in with Google, and both of these mandatory scopes have been selected for reading the deals data and the contacts data. I'll leave it valid for forever and click Authorize. Now I can use this token to request all contacts with full scopes. So I inherit the auth from parent, meaning I'm using that token I just generated, and I can hit this endpoint. I get full contacts data, and because I included the deal scope, I also have the deals data appended to the contact details. Now let's see what happens when I make a request to the same API, but with no deal scope. So I only add the contacts read scope over here, and we'll get another access token. Going through the consent flow again. This time it only asks me for the contacts read scope, and I'll hit authorize. Now when I use this token to send a request to the endpoint, I will get a response, and I'll see the contacts data and not the deals data that we saw earlier associated with each contact.
Thanks, Anvi. Next up, let's cover outbound apps. Outbound apps are an easy and powerful way to make your AI agents production ready. You can now securely connect AI agents with over 50 third-party tools, call APIs on users' behalf, all without worrying about OAuth, token management and storage, or user consent. I'll now hand it over to Kevin to show a real-world AI agent that connects with Google Calendar, Google Meet, and even a custom CRM using outbound apps.
Now to get started with Outbound Apps, the first thing you have to do is sign into the Descope console, go to the Outbound Apps section under Connect here, and click on this button. We support over 50 different custom providers out of the box, and we even support any generic OAuth provider. I'm going to start with Google Calendar. All you need to do is provide your own custom app ID, the client ID and secret of your Google OAuth application, as well as a callback domain for your Descope project if applicable. Finally, you can configure default scopes, which can be overridden by either the SDK or a flow action. Once you've created your outbound app, then it's time to start connecting and having Descope manage the tokens. To demonstrate this, we'll be using a sample app called Connected Agent. I'll sign into Connected Agent. It'll then take me to this application here. And then in the top right corner, I'll be able to connect to various services. We'll start with connecting to Google. So when I click on Connect, it takes me to this sign-in pop-up, which will allow me to sign in with my Google account and see the scopes that I'm giving to the AI agent. Now, if I click Allow, it'll show as connected here. To further enhance this, I would also like to connect to a CRM. If I click on CRM, this is our 10x CRM sample app, protected with our inbound apps. which actually enable you to become a no-auth provider. And if I sign in with Google here, I was given a screen that shows which actions and scopes I'm giving consent to the agent for. If I click authorize, now I'm connected to both the CRM and the Google Calendar application. The final piece of the puzzle is watching both of these outbound apps work together to build a nice agent experience. So the first thing I'll do is I'll say find contact information for John Doe. And you can see it goes out to the CRM via APIs, uses the token there to get all the contact information from the user. Now, if I want to schedule a meeting, I can say something like schedule a product demo with John Doe from Acme Inc. tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's actually going to go out to the CRM, get all the information, and then schedule a calendar event with John Doe for tomorrow at 2 p.m. And I can even view the calendar event here. So what's happening under the hood is all of these actions are scoped, secure, and consented. Descope takes care of refreshing the tokens, logging activity, and ensuring the app only does what it's allowed to do. As a developer, you don't have to worry about the complexities of OAuth. You can just request the tool call, and Descope will make sure the token is valid, scoped, and ready.
Thanks, Kevin. To round off this video, let's cover MCP Auth SDKs. Descope MCP Auth SDKs are an easy and powerful way to make your remote MCP servers production ready. You can add the OAuth authorization code flow, PXE, dynamic client registration, authorization server metadata, and more to your MCP servers with just 3 lines of code. I'll now hand it over to Alan to show how an MCP server secured by our SDKs interacts with clients in a secured, scoped, and consented manner.
Today we're going to go over how easy it is to add auth to your MCP server using Descope. We'll navigate to the home page of our server, which will be giving access to the National Weather Service API. It'll do things like get weather alerts or the forecast based on different parameters. Getting right into it, this page, other than explaining what the server does, is it tells you how to configure an MCP client, which would be something like Cursor or VS Code. We'll just use Windsurf as an example, but you can use whatever you like. So we'll copy the server configuration, go to Windsurf, we'll add our server. You can see the main configuration is just adding your URL there. So now when we refresh Windsurf as an MCP client, it's going to start to try to connect to the server, but the server is protected with auth, and Windsurf doesn't have an access token yet. So the server will return a 401 unauthorized, and Windsurf will know to start the OAuth process because that's part of the MCP specification. And now you can see it started the OAuth process, and it's showing our MCP server's consent screen. That's the name of the client, and it registered with our OAuth provider. So we're just going to quickly sign in. We're going to confirm. This is like a traditional OAuth consent screen. We'll authorize the server, and there. Now we're connected. So we can close. Go back to our editor and can be like, hey, how's the weather in SF this week? So now you can see the weather tool that we configured has been connected, and now the IDE is able to use the tool successfully because it's authenticated as well, and it stored the access token, it runs the tool, it submits the parameters, and then uses the response in its context. That's how easy it is to configure.
Thanks, Alan. And that's all we have for this video. Check out the links in the description to learn more. And if you're ready to get started, just head over to descope.com and create a free account. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Did I forget the outro?